Oh, Sasquatch? Oh, yeah, he's like the Sandy Waxlow of YouTube's.
Next time he'll get his own ketchup.
Welcome to Sasquatch Shills for Sasquatch Shills, so you don't have to. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are. We're doing this thing again where, I go find some channels. This one's actually brought to me by a viewer. This is Captain Curmudgeon, and I've got him backstage. I'm actually pretty excited about this one. He's got some of the best natural banter I've seen on YouTube today. I mean, he's even got me beat for a turn of the tongue, let me tell you. I can't imagine anybody around him likes him. I just imagine not. Does everybody get angry at you when it's going on? When you're just doing that thing you do? I imagine it upsets some people, don't it?
Oh, maybe one or two people here or there. It's some days it's a blessing, some days it's a curse. What do you do?
Yeah, no, I can't help it sometimes. I mean, it just pops out of my mouth, and I don't even mean
it's true.
It just happens. So I decided
sometimes one is overcome by an irresistible urge to call things what they are.
Exactly. To refer to the truth as the truth without any sugarcoating or candy, and everybody gets mad when it happens. But
yep.
I digress. We have Captain Curmudgeon in studio with us this afternoon, and in your own words, exactly what is your channel?
My channel is me 3 times a week, running my ruggedly handsome mouth for 18 to 20 minutes about sometimes the events of the day. Sometimes I like to do historical topics. Those are the ones that are probably my favorite. The ones that where the scripts tend to write themselves. The reason why I started doing this a little less than 2 years ago was partly because I felt, as a lot of people have felt in these recent years, that there is a real concerted assault being waged against the ability of the individual citizen to speak his mind in the public square. And in a climate like that, I feel like I need to be in the fight in using whatever platform is available to me until they throw me off of it. And at the same time, it's always been kind of out there in the back of my mind that one day I might start doing something like this.
Yeah.
But
right.
Go ahead.
It never crossed my mind I'd be doing this until one afternoon I was like, I'm going to change my name. I'm going to be a Sasquatch. And yeah, so here we are today.
And I remember the exact place I was driving in my car when the name popped into my head, and I knew what I was going to call myself on YouTube. I guess when we live in the future, that's one of the red letter moments in life when you come up with your YouTube name.
Yeah, I guess so. What were you doing? Where were you at? What was happening?
I was at the corner of Las Posas and San Marcos Boulevard. I was about to make a left turn. I think I was on my way to pick up my daughter from the movie theater.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And she had. Sorry?
I said that's beautiful.
Oh, and yeah, I was probably still several months out from actually launching the channel. I was actually at the point where I was gonna actually sign up and create the channel, but it was going to be a few months later that I was going to actually start doing content. So I was at the point of needing to come up with a name, and it just it was a serendipitous moment. It just popped right into my head somehow from the universe, and I liked it. I think I still like it. I mean, admittedly I am a bit young and ruggedly handsome to call myself a curmudgeon, but I think I have some years to grow into the title.
Grow into it though. That works fine.
Yeah, there. Yep.
And I'm a big hairy guy.
I do have enough gray hair to make it reasonably credible for the time being. So
sure,
I have raised 2 adult daughters, so all of this gray, it was fairly earned.
You did it. You did that thing that it takes to get them. Yeah, this here wasn't free. I'm not actually a milk vampire. I just look like one.
Yep. Every one of those is a badge of honor, you might say.
Yep. Because I mean, in this modern age, when you're putting kids through school, they come home with all these really strange ideas, and you have to explain the reality of a working day to them. They don't get it.
And yeah, and so many of them are operating at such a disadvantage by not having two parents who are raising them.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Now, my kids have kind of a little bit of a unique situation. If you mess with one of these three kids, one of which is biologically mine, the rest I've adopted as my own anyway. We take them on vacation with us, the whole nine, right?
Right.
When you mess with one of those, you'll end up with me, their biological father, my wife, their biological mother, their previous stepfather, or two, whichever ones decide to show up for that kid. There's liable to be 12 people in that parent teacher conference. It doesn't go over the way they expect when we outnumber them.
Yeah, probably not.
In fact, as
But
far
yeah,
as they tend to
go
agree
ahead.
with. That's it.
My wife and I often feel like we never would have imagined it would be like this, but we feel like refugees from the 19th century. I mean, we got married when we were 19. We had all of our kids during our 20s. And just, I think there's one other couple we know, both of us combined, who are still on their first marriage and have raised their kids as a traditional nuclear family. And it's really an astounding thing.
I know some people on their first marriage, but they haven't raised any kids yet for the most part.
Yeah. And
I don't know, man.
but I think
you're onto something.
now that all my kids are in adulthood, I think you can really see them taking stock of the how lucky they were. Yeah.
Reality.
And seeing in the people they know and are acquainted with what a detriment it could be in one's life to not have any sort of nuclear family having one's back and doing all the things that nuclear families do. There's a reason why we have oriented civilization around the nuclear family for the last 25,000 years.
Longer. Yeah.
Yeah, longer.
It's an integral part of it. In fact, if you look in my understanding of the way demographics work, if you look at the cross section of the other side, as it were, you'll find that they don't have a perpetual breeding plan, whereas the right certainly does. Conservatives,
Sure.
They're just going to go on growing vegetables and eating. Whereas the people that are locked into these inner cities, that are locked into this dependent on Uncle Sam type thing, are going to continue doing what they do because it's all they know how to do is scam a system that's more complicated than any man could possibly ever figure out. And
then one day the trucks that bring the food stop showing up.
Oh, they'll get pretty sharp pretty quick after that.
Yep.
I got a buddy of mine
they will.
named Mandatory Carry. He's got a channel on YouTube, and he has this really wild idea about issuing all the citizens that have the legal right to bear arms and insist that they bear them. He said it'd stop crime in its tracks overnight. I said, you're not wrong.
I think they have something not unlike that in Switzerland.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, if you choose not to do this, you should be able to opt out. I firmly am against his whole mandatory carry concept. I believe you should be issued.
Yeah, mandatory is probably a bit much. I am with you in thinking there should be an opt out.
Yeah, but the concept is beautiful. Hey, truth be told, all right, let me run through chat right quick. We got a stack of folks in here, and we got a few more that's been here for a while, and I hadn't shouted them out.
Yeah, go for it.
Wow, y'all have been some talkative little folks. Swiss Smiths, I do believe we agreed she can't have the gold because she's always here first. Truth be told, Audits gets the gold. The seventh son gets the silver, and Silly as I Want to Be gets the bronze. Welcome to the show, folks. It's good to see you. Swiss Miss will be our moderator tonight for as long as she's willing to stick around. She says she's probably going to dip out as far as After Dark's concerned. So, any other mods want to stick around and pull weight, that'd be awesome. ATL Auditors in the building. We have Work Line. He's an excellent viewer. He even hangs out with my stupid audiobooks. Can you believe that? Russell Sperry showed up. It's good to see him. Always good to see him. Boa Omega for Public Safety. He's in the house. That's good to see. And 357 SIG beats 9mm. I agree, son. I agree, but I still would rather carry a smaller 9mm with me because it fits in my little pocket.
I'll sign that memo.
Right? Yeah. Just give me one of them small Makarovs. We're good. Andrea Knows has showed up. She said she'd be here. Bernie, welcome in. That's BS, Bernie. Violence is Life is here. She was live a little while ago. Tried to talk to her. I don't think she was actually at the live. I think it was just live. Not sure what's going on there. Ooh, something just happened. It skipped. Why did it skip? Okay, no. It jumped a little bit, but that's fine. All right. Okay, so we've been through chat. We've done this. We've done that. We've done another thing. We got a poll up. Did you happen to check in on the YouTube side of things?
I did not.
All right. So the question is everything political?
Such a nebulous question.
Yes.
I have a hard time with questions like that sometimes. If you're going to pin me down on what my instinct is one way or the other, I'm going to say yes.
Right. That's
because there is no area of life or of discourse that doesn't, at least in some tangential way, to use the fashionable parlance of the other side, that doesn't intersect with politics somewhere along the line.
Exactly, man. So it is essentially.
Yeah. So I think you would mark me down for yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's currently winning by about 5%. So
yeah, I would imagine that would be a fairly close poll.
About 10%. See, here's the thing that people in a desert vote for more water. They don't care where it comes from or how you get it. They just vote for more water. And when those votes pass, the people in command, people in charge, can't just make more water, so they have to take it from somewhere else.
Sure do.
And that's the way the wheel works. It goes round and round and grinds exceedingly fine.
And just as everything is political, everything also ultimately comes down to resources.
Exactly. That's why I used water as that example. If you put it to a vote, anytime you put anything to a vote, people will vote for the thing that they feel they lack. I don't have
or the thing they're trying to preserve.
Right. That I think that's less of a motivator. Preservation doesn't seem to be as much on people's mind anymore. I mean, we're 100 years out of a civil war, right? 200, 100, 200 years. 160 out of a civil war. And they've forgotten everything. I'm in Georgia. We don't get the ability to forget it because it's on every single street corner. There's a sign that reminds you that Sherman marched his ass to the sea right through our small town.
Yep. And that gives it more immediacy than it has for people who live where I live.
We have what is considered a brand new courthouse that is probably 120 years old because Sherman burned the one that was there before, and the neighboring towns have older courthouses because they didn't get burned. So history is kind of a funny thing.
Oh yeah, and in the county where I live, 100-year-old building is positively ancient.
Right. Over here, it's not uncommon to come across a 200-year-old building once you get 20, 30, 40 miles away from my hometown. Here,
sure. Yeah.
There's nothing over 120 years. Nothing. The earliest.
There are lots of areas of the country on the eastern seaboard where it's still not uncommon to buy a house that was built in the 19th century. But where I am, that's it's not that way.
Ato for life. Good to see you, brother. Seventh son, you too. Truth be told, ain't you? Yeah, you're modded up. You're both modded up. That's cool. I might need to go through my mods list and see who's still modded. That might not be the best way. This is kind of distracting, having two of you over there talking. It's kind of okay. All right, all right. I know how to fix this. I know how to fix it. We're gonna fix this the good old fashioned way. All right. So I got this bit.
Are the choir not all singing from the right hymnal?
Exactly. I have, no, it's just that there's two of you and one of me. Y'all have me outnumbered. It's really getting on my ego. I can't tolerate it. No, seriously. I got this bit that I do every show when I have somebody come on and I present their content. And as you can see from the video here, as well as the video here and the video here, you kind of get a good idea of what you're working with here, right? So we've had these types of channels on before. They're generally blog type channels. They're either political, apolitical, or review type channels. They stare at the camera, they talk to the camera. This guy, Cap over here, has got a banter that is undyingly. It reminds me of what would happen if Dennis Leary and Dennis Miller had an angry love child and it voted Republican.
That's just about the best compliment I think I've ever received in my life.
Oh, it's beautiful, dude. I love it. And you deliver it with such eloquence that you speak so well. American Justice of Texas, welcome to the show. It's good to see you. Work line, you too. Silly as I want to be.
Well, I'm still looking for the white whale of an entire episode where I don't flub one single word. I've gotten perilously close a few times, but I still haven't quite got there.
I've been dying to ask this question. I meant to ask before we went live, but here we are. How many times do you do? How many takes do you do?
One. Only one ever.
Only one ever? Okay,
Yep.
I'm kind of the same way. I do most of my work live, and if I don't do it live, I sit down and go and then do it. And either
there have been maybe 2, 3, 4 times where I've had a technical snafu where I had to put an edit in, but 99% of the time it's just one take, and that's the take I did, and that's a function mostly of just not having a whole hell of a lot of time to. I've got 4 hours in which I need to do the writing and the shooting and the editing and the uploading.
I was just gonna ask, do you work from a script?
Yes.
I can't do that. I have yet
to
figure out the script. Once I write it, it doesn't sound natural. It doesn't work.
And that's been a really very interesting part of this journey, in that I never, before I started doing this, I had no appreciation for how much different it is writing for monologue than just writing regular old printed prose designed to be consumed on the page.
It is different. Yes.
It is a lot different. There's a lot more commas, a lot fewer periods.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense, because a couple of the other folks I've worked with, they do a sort of stream of consciousness thing. And one of them I know does it 2 or 3 times per video, and sometimes doesn't ever end up uploading them at all. The other one, full on, full stop, turns on the camera, speaks for 12 minutes, turns off the camera, and uploads it. And that man, he occasionally jumbles his words, but otherwise he's very well spoken. Well, for a Southern accent.
And when I, right at the beginning, when I started, I wasn't planning on it being scripted, but I changed my mind pretty quickly, because I want to pack as much content into my 18-20 minutes as I can, and I can do that better if I write the thing ahead of time than I can if I just try to speak extemporaneously off the top of my head. And I think
probably works a little more organized as well too.
Yeah.
More thought out.
Yeah, I think so. And I also like to write it straight through in one shot. I normally
okay,
I get off work.
That makes
sense. I get off work at 3:00. I try to be writing by 3:30, and the scripts are usually 3,300 to 3,500 words, so 1,500 words an hour, 2.5 hours to write the whole thing, which is a pretty good clip. And then, so I don't really. You have a much more broad-based knowledge of YouTube than I do, but not to sound too self-aggrandizing, but I would imagine that 3,500 words of original content in a 20-minute video is probably pretty good on average.
No, that's one of the things I'm amazed at when it comes to your content. You've been doing it for 2 years. You started in one of the absolute worst periods of time to do YouTube, to even consider it, because you could have said any number of words in some of your titles that were titled later, but earlier they would have got you deuced off the platform out of hand.
Sure.
Right. And I don't know if you were aware that you did that at the time, or if you were just going with a title that made sense or whatever. If you're
Yeah,
looking,
well, I always go the route of not censoring myself.
right, that's good. That's good. If you're going to look into trying to expand on YouTube, I strongly advise your short clipped bits that the few edits that I've seen you do. Monkey around with your equipment till you can figure out how to do a vertical shot of it and cut it down to less than 54 seconds. Upload it as a short and ignore the view time from it. It's not real, but it will grow your channel through exposure through the feed. You'll get to more people that think like you from the perspective of just basically the younger generation when it comes down to it. Through the feed, you get a bunch of kids to, I don't know, everybody watches a little bit of TikTok, and the feed's
Not everybody.
well, the feed's closer to YouTube than TikTok. So most people flip over to the feed before they flip to TikTok,
Right.
So when I upload any particular video to the shorts, if it gets 1,000 views, I might pick up 2 subs. If I stack up 3 or 4 days in a row where I get 1,000 views, I get 2 or 3 subs a day for a week, and then I lose 5 of them. Like half of them. I don't know what that's about. But I'm lucky in that they tend to come back around and resubscribe later. So like I'll see the same pop up subscribing 2 or 3 times, Like, thank you for coming back. Each and every one of you.
Yeah, and I realize that I'm gonna have to start thinking more about that end of things. The approach I took when I started out was that I was going to commit to doing the work for 2 years and just learning the trade and getting better at the thing you're doing before you worry too much about self-publicizing or self-promotion.
Right.
Just I approach it just like learning a trade. It's like learning any other trade. The first year, your first year in the trade is spent learning the basics. You have some days where you feel like you did pretty good, but you're still an apprentice. And then the second year is the year you already know the basics, and you start getting good and productive and adept.
Yeah. Skills.
And so I'm about 2 months short of the 2-year mark right now. So that's going to be the next frontier that I have to start looking at.
I strongly advise you to look into live entertainment as far as growing a channel and interacting with the individuals that are actually in YouTube and the YouTube sphere. There is nothing like it. One warning. It is the singular most dangerous thing you could do with your YouTube channel is have a live stream and a guest. There's a few reasons.
I believe you.
But for the most part, any guest that comes on my channel can look back at their episode, decide they don't like it, and then report it to YouTube without contacting me. Doesn't always work out the way they want it to, but I'll take down anything anybody wants me to take down. I really don't
How
care.
often does that happen?
I've had one who reported me for a short that I did, and because it had their face on it, not that they hadn't done a face reveal, but I don't know. If he just emailed me and be like, "Hey, take that short down," I'd be like, "Okay," but he didn't.
And why would someone be opposed to their content being shared out? I wonder.
I imagine they were planning on attempting to monetize it in a certain way very soon. Whether it would be on Twitch or whatever, I don't know. And they wanted me to take it down. What's weird is there were 3 other shorts that I did for them that, as far as I know, are still up.
That is kind of bizarre.
They were all 3 very well performing shorts, and the one that got took down was the least performing of the 4 that were uploaded.
I was pleased to see how well my short did.
You got 1.4 thousand views
I will
on
take
one
that.
45-second clip. Yep. I'm telling you, man, you need to dip into that a little bit. That's another way you can interact with your viewers. I've noticed you have a solid 15 to 17 people that show up to every single premiere. I don't think I've seen
Yeah,
one
yeah,
12, and that was only for a minute.
yeah. I do have a pretty good core,
Yeah, that's
and
good.
yep. That's that's what you have to start out with. You know, that's
No. What I'm saying is you have 106 subscribers or something like that right now. You have 17 people that tune in to every single episode you put up. I can't put up those numbers. I have almost 1,000 subs, and I can't guarantee that I'll have 17 people watching something that I upload. I might get 15 views. You never know.
Well, that's nice to know. I had no idea.
That's why I stress to every single guest, never, ever, ever compare yourself to other YouTubers. It may be a political thing. It may be a topic thing. It may be that I've got a gun sitting in the background. I didn't notice it. That things change the way the algorithm views you. And it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with like how you entitled a video,
Right.
whether you use certain keywords. I had an upload for a Robinson Crusoe audiobook that I did a couple of weeks ago, and I used hashtags for the first time on a video. That thing got 300 views overnight. Why? Don't know. Hashtags, maybe. Couldn't tell you. One day I'm gonna figure out how those things work.
Yeah, so sometimes weird incongruous things like that happen with my channel too, and there's just no explaining them. And I don't try because it's
Well, I'm gonna tell
who
you.
knows the secrets of the algorithm ultimately, except Susie.
You have some people that really, really, really enjoy your content to such an extent they brought you to my attention, and wasn't like, "Hey, go do this." Was like, "Just check this guy out." And I watched one, and then I watched another episode, and then I started going back through your other ones, and I'm like, dude, this dude's putting in the work. Like he's doing what I started my channel to kind of do, sort of. That what you're doing was the original idea of my show, and then I just started talking to people, and it went this way. I fell backwards into a little bit of success, and I don't really know how to deal with it. So, yay!
But yeah, but I think what you do here is an important and very worthwhile thing in the current, the way the public discourse is currently. I think people doing what you do is crucially important.
Yeah, no. American Justice of Texas pulls down probably 3,000 views a day on shorts alone. She has other stuff up too that does decent, but she does shorts. You know, I mean, she's got a talent for that kind of stuff, which is cool. I love watching new shorts. I love watching talent. That's cool. I always tell every guest, "Hey, Chaos Theory Productions, welcome to the show." Have we missed Ozark Yeoman? I really hope not. I'm trying to dig him too.
Yeah, it would be great to have full-time hours to be able to to devote to this and to do stuff like that. But maybe one day.
I've actually got a fairly limited production concept here. I have a single laptop, 2 laptop screens, a ring light, and a camera, a microphone.
Yeah, that's same deal here.
Okay.
I mean, my initial startup budget was $500, and I'm still working with my original gear, and that includes the laptop. Right. And I got a secondhand green screen.
I went $800, and I haven't got a green screen yet. I also started about a year and a half after you, so that might be.
and I don't really have any desire to upgrade any of my gear because I like the fact that my videos have a certain garage band aesthetic to them.
Yeah, no, I dig it. I do. I
don't want my stuff to look too perfect or sound too perfect. I like it when there's a little rough edge.
Well, StreamYards is the place for you if you like rough edges. Let me tell you. It's been good to me. It has. It hasn't given me any major screw ups yet. Having to realize how sound actually works in StreamYard, and the fact that I'm using OBS, but I'm not actually putting my sound through OBS. It's going straight to StreamYards and coming off of my desktop. So that's why it sounds kind of chunky and cheesy sometimes. But I'm working out all those problems as I go along.
like you're double tracking your own vocal.
Dude, I've actually I've actually gained a bit of a talent at that.
Yeah, you can make yourself sound real beefy that way. Listen to how much authority I have now.
Yeah, all I got to do is turn up my bass on my little doohickey and then add a little bit of echo, and everybody does what Odin says.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Then you sound like Doomcock.
thank you.
No, that was a pretty good Doomcock right there.
Yeah, right. I got a few other gizmos over here I can play, but I got a bit. You keep getting me distracted. I got a bit that I do. This is great. I haven't been distracted by guests in a minute. All right. So I got a bit that I do every show. I go and dig up the very first video that an individual upload that is available. So I don't go digging through anything that's hidden or private or anything. I don't dig through your buddy's accounts and go find any bird on anything like that. But it is quite literally episode 1. You know how few YouTubers actually do that? How long has it been?
That's why I look like a washed out ghost face.
Yeah, no. Do you had improper lighting?
Yeah, and before I discovered makeup.
Right. So I'm gonna mute this and put it up in the background, and you've got. I kind of like the grittiness here. I kind of dig the that stare, that 1,000-yard stare you've got going on, where you can't believe you're actually doing this shit. I can see it on your face.
Oh yeah, I was incredibly self-conscious about being on camera at first.
Oh, I've got to distract myself with 1.5 million things over here, or I'll realize that I'm on camera. But here's a weird thing. You saw me before, right? How weird, fidgety, and nervous I got, like the closer to going live, and then suddenly it's like poof, bam, done.
Yeah, and it was funny because I noticed you made it pretty much exactly the same series of breath noises I always make before I hit the record button.
Oh, good. It's not just me. Everybody.
No, it's not just you. I gotta fill the lungs up with as much air as I can before I start ranting.
Yeah, true. I get that. Yeah. I always get laughed at by the guests backstage, and they're like, how can you be so nervous? You just do it so naturally. And I'm like, there's nothing natural about any aspect of what we do.
Nope.
Nothing. This isn't real. This set isn't real. This is a thing I created in my room so people wouldn't see the way the rest of my life is torn all to hell by reality.
Yeah, we're all just playing make believe here.
Exactly. But I got this thing I do. I usually do it before I start playing the video, but yet again, you got me distracted. You're good at that. I'm telling you, you'd make a hell of a co-host.
I'll shut up.
Here's the thing.
You know about cars?
Yes, I'm a paleontologist.
Oh, it's okay. There's dynamite in this bed, too. I am a paleontologist.
I'm a paleontologist.
Paleontologists study really old stuff.
Like crackers.
Because bad movies are funny.
I love it, dude. I absolutely love it. I picked that up off of a terrible film.
That's great.
It's horrible. If you get a chance to watch it, you can hate me for it later. It's called Deary Off the Wall. You can find it on Amazon. I got to watch it for free. Y'all are going to have to pay out. Yeah.
Speaking of, did you know there's a brand new Beavis and Butthead movie?
I hear that it's a remake of the original Beavis and Butthead movie and the sequel.
I only first discovered its existence this morning. I watched it on Paramount Plus, which I didn't even know I had a subscription to, and I rather enjoyed it.
I wonder.
I didn't think it was as good as the first one, but I think the world that we live in currently needs more Beavis and Butthead in it, and more Mike Judge more broadly, because Mike Judge is the greatest satirist of the last quarter century.
One of,
in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, you've got like, I don't know, would you consider Bill Hicks a satirist, or was he just telling the truth?
Gray area, maybe.
Sam Kinison.
I mean, would you call me a satirist? I don't know if I would call myself a satirist. I do plenty of satire, but I don't know if I can be categorized that way necessarily.
Look, man, satire is only satire until it becomes a headline news on the mainstream. When you see that,
and doesn't that seem to always happen now?
Hey, you know how long it takes
it's impossible to do comedy because real life keeps stealing your joke.
Right? He keeps stealing the punchline because it's reality. That's
Yeah.
now it's funny because it's true. How about that? But that's not funny
Yep.
sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
you know how many look, my Alex Jones right is jar. My Alex Jones is right jar is so full, I've had to send out for another jar.
Yeah, I can see why.
There's 2 weeks between a conspiracy theory and reality on Twitter.
Yeah, and even some of the things they used to mock
There you go.
Alex Jones for the most vociferously are the things where he's wound up being totally correct.
And I don't even want to go down that that rabbit hole, because even if
Yeah.
he is right, I really don't want to consider some of that shit. We got the divine
Yeah,
sorcerer in the chat. He showed up. I asked him to come by for after dark. We're gonna discuss why it is this channel is not growing, or growing like I feel like it should. He's got some pretty interesting stuff. It's certainly off the beaten path. Or go check him out if you want to. Um, it's unique. It's unique. But he's got a cool group that's over there doing stuff. I can't even really describe what it is they do. It's somewhere between alchemy and sorcery. I mean, quite frankly.
well, I like things that defy description.
Right. And I love those types of channels. I'm a firm believer. Do what you're passionate in, film it. People will watch you do it because they love to watch people do what they love doing.
Yeah, and the few people whom I solicited for advice before I started doing this, one of the things they all told me was make the kind of videos that you enjoy watching, and just do what you do.
Yeah, and I hear you. I hear you. I hear you 100%. But I cannot make those videos. I do not have that talent, and I do not have that skill. What I can do is go find somebody who does something really close to what I'd love to watch, and go say, hey, if you do this, that, and the other thing, you might get a few more views. And either they take the advice or they don't. It's just a suggestion. I'm not asking for any paperwork. I'm not taking over anybody's channel. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I just want to watch better content. And I believe that the best content are made by new YouTubers who are just getting into the game, because A, they don't know what has been done, hasn't been done, and they haven't been tainted by the evils of YouTube.
Yeah, and ultimately the thing you're trying to do more broadly is to just balance the scales of the public discourse, so that there's less of a wild disparity between what kind of content gets widely promulgated.
Right. Well, something you got to consider too is you don't control the primary aspects of your channel. You control the content. That is the only thing you have control over. You control the narrative. You control the subscribers. I can go
and that's why I think it will always be a fool's errand trying to play to the algorithm.
Right, because what you don't control is who gets to see your videos. Here's one that I figured out that took me 3 profiles in YouTube to learn. YouTube determines which notifications you get, which ones you don't get. So if you're subscribed to 350 channels and you can only get 300 notifications a day, and each channel puts out 3 notifications a day, that's 900 notifications, which leaves 600 you don't get. Who chooses which ones you get and which ones you don't? YouTube.
And do you know what I've been hearing for a long time from?
I'm not getting your notifications
on other people's videos about people being unsubscribed without their knowledge in big chunks. What's the deal with that?
Okay, so you have channels like mine, which are I guess you could classify it as a growth channel, although I'm presenting your content and the creator itself, which is a little unique for that type of a channel. Usually that type of a channel invites everybody in, mods everyone, and has everybody throw their own links and any other channel links they can think of. It generates artificially high interaction in a live stream when everybody can post their own links, right? Okay, so I don't have that. Only previous guests are modded ever, and the 5 mods that I recruited before I started my channel. Now, there's a couple of other people out there that if they show an interest in being a mod, I would be interested in having them. But for the most part, that's done. There's a couple I might need to remove just because I haven't seen them in a while. But beyond that, the channel is built. This is what it's going to be, something like this. And I do my chilling with Sasquatch on other nights when I don't have a guest or they back out suddenly. Beyond that, I have no desire to monetize because my strongest feature as a YouTuber is actually my ability to see what's missing in a set of information. And then
I am right there with you on the monetization question. I also have no desire to monetize.
I have put a limit on myself. I've got a little notebook in there that I wrote down the things that I wanted to accomplish before I would do the things that are YouTubery, right?
Right.
Only recently picked up something resembling a logo, and I very rarely actually managed to remember to put it up. But I have this thing that's vaguely logo-ish. Is that it? Does that do it? No, that's not going to do it. That'll do it. No, that's not right either. Yeah, I don't even know how to work the damn thing because I never use it. There he is. He's over there.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, that little Sasquatch crossing sign.
Oh, from the Patterson film.
Exactly. So, it's a classic.
Yeah, classic.
I'm looking for a bright yellow vehicle to pimp out into a rolling film studio, basically, so that I can go and meet all of my previous guests. I'm going to show up, knock on your door, and be like, "Hey, Sasquatch found you. How the hell you feel about that?"
Yeah, big yellow truck with that silhouette on the side. That would look badass.
I was thinking about something tiny, actually. I was looking at a tracker or a samurai or what was that? Oh, a RAV4.
A RAV4 wouldn't be bad.
I tell you what would be perfect if I could find one for under like $8,000.
Lady Curmudgeon's been wanting me to buy her a RAV4 for years.
Oh yeah, an RRS, I think is what it's called, a Chevy RRS. It's like the remodeled version of the El Camino. It's got like a built-in tonneau cover and has drop top.
Oh, right.
Convertible truck. Yeah. They had terrible power plants in them. They're horrible. Hey, Car Thief, welcome to the show. Sorry, I didn't mean to miss you, dude. You know how I get distracted. That's another previous guest. You'll find a lot of them in my chat, actually. People tend to come back because I'm not a total ass pirate. I don't try to rape your brand and then run the fuck off. That's not what I do. I'll be dipping into your content here and there and making shorts and poking at it, see if I can make it do stuff. I don't know how to explain what I do, man. So tell me
this. It's been a long time since I watched episode 1. This is kind of disconcerting.
Yeah, no, it's kind of hurting your eyes, isn't it? We'll go to another one. A little better.
Well, I guess at least I can revel in the progress I've made with the video presentation since then.
Although I gotta admit, your outfit has better lighting now.
Yes.
Is that the
different
same
location too?
Oh, cool. That's fantastic. Is that the same shirt?
Yep.
I think it's immaculate.
You've often heard me refer to social.
Oh yeah. All right. So this is
yeah, I got it dry cleaned today just for this.
Oh, cool. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cost you $1. That was never my intention.
Fine. It was overdue anyway. I needed the excuse.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't mind being an excuse. That's perfectly acceptable behavior as far as I'm concerned. Tell me something.
Sure is. I'm with you.
This side of StreamYards, does it tell you how many people we have in here?
Let me see. I don't think it does.
Okay. Well, according to StreamYards, we have 23 people in here, and about 10 minutes ago, it ran up to about 29. I don't know why. I guess they like you. You know what really strikes me as a little odd, though?
What's that?
Usually when I have a guest on, there'll be 1 or 2 people that pop in that I don't recognize. Usually somebody tunes in from the guests, but you don't have like a community thing and you only upload to Rumble, right? There's Rumble and YouTube.
I did send the link to some people though.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe they got the wrong time or something. I don't know. There's no
or else they might just watch later. Who knows?
Oh yeah, sure. It'll be up for like 48 hours and I'll download it, turn it to unlisted. So you'll have
and I will be pop quizzing each of them to verify that they watched.
Fantastic. Tell them Sasquatch. It'll confuse the living shit out of them. They won't have any idea.
Sir.
Well, Absolutely fantastic. All right, so you got about 10 minutes to kill. I want to know, what channels does Captain Curmudgeon watch? Freedom isn't free. Welcome to the show, brothers. Snark and Sass. Did I see Snark and Sass? ATL auditors here for sure. I thought I saw Snark and Sass for a minute there. No.
What channels do
Smith,
I
Smith.
watch?
Awesome.
I guess we would have to distill that down to pop culture, politics, science.
So we're talking grunt speak, Matt Christensen, and
I
I
mean, I watch all three of the Daily Wire guys usually every day.
Wow.
I watch
Podcast of the Letters.
I do watch a lot of science, astronomy, space flight stuff. There's a channel called Lunar Module 5 that is outstanding. That I would, if I was going to recommend only one channel during this appearance, it would be that one, Lunar Module 5. Check it
Media is British.
My bad. I'm sorry.
And then pop culture stuff. I like Gary at Nerdrotic. I like Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers. And I'm forgetting. I like Thor Skywalker. I like that Star Wars girl.
That Star Wars girl has got a pretty good following too. She does some really good work. Who else do I like? I should be able to rattle 20 of these off the top of my head, and everybody has the same problem, dude. It's not just you. The way we get around it is we talk about the other things that we like, and it triggers memories for other channels.
Yeah, that's probably the best approach to take.
Okay. Do you ever get into any of the unsolved mysteries or true crime channels?
A little bit, yes. True crime, not so much. I do enjoy the unsolved mystery stuff. I'm a big fan of like Franklin Expedition, Amelia Earhart, that type of stuff.
How about that for a way to go out? Eat my fucking crabs. Right?
Yeah, I know. Yep. And it would be nice if Rick Gillespie got more credit for cracking the case. While he's still alive, because he damn well did crack the case.
And they sit around pretending like it's still an unknown thing, like it's.
I know, and that is like, absolutely shameful.
Motherfucker found the pieces of the plane, found the crash location, found the wheels, found the wings, found it. The rest of it off in the drink over here. Yeah. Everybody's like, the mystery of the moon. No fucking mystery. It crashed in the goddamn ocean, right where they said.
How big of a body of circumstantial evidence do you want before you're willing to call it compelling?
Quite compelling at that. No, he's convinced me.
Yeah,
absolutely convinced me. That bitch got to eat my fucking crabs.
Yeah, and even though he threw me off his message board, I still deeply admire the guy.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
I'm not exactly sure why he did that, but
there's a few places I'm not permitted to go. They'll recognize my typing as soon as it starts clicking. They're like, ban. No.
Sasquatch guy.
No, it's not that. It's the previous profiles. They'll recognize me. I swear to God. I've trolled them.
Swing that ban hammer.
I don't do it anymore. I don't do none of that no more. I don't do it. No, sir. I quit it about the same time I quit drugs.
But yeah. Gillespie has spent 35 years now, 7 or 8 expeditions, and financing it all by himself just because he wants to know what the truth is.
And a true American adventurer, a true explorer, not American explorer, but a true explorer.
You're damn right. A real man, a real explorer, a real American, a man who should be more widely admired than he is.
He didn't do the same thing that 100 other researchers had done, which was go look at the flight plan, look at the map, and go, she's over there somewhere. He went and flew out to all 36 of the possible islands, which he only had to check 3. Because, there were 3 big islands. He went and checked the first one, was like, probably ain't it. Went to the second one, probably ain't it. Went to the third one, oh, look, a big wrecked plane over there. Look, there's a grave.
Yeah.
We might be on something here.
And in his books, he raises a point that I think is an important and salient one, where he says the alternate explanations, the ones that say, well, she just flew around for a while and then crashed into the sea. They really sell Ms. Earhart short as an aviator. They turn her into a bumbling buffoon. And Gillespie said no. She knew enough to know that when she got here and the land wasn't under her like it was supposed to be, then she was going to go one of two directions on this line of latitude.
Right.
There was nothing to the north. There was a couple islands to the south, and so that's the damn thing she would have done. And it had a coral reef that she could have landed on. And there's all the circumstantial evidence on the island itself.
Oh, I want to shout out two people in chat that just showed up. Harry Bonzel, I always say his name wrong. I apologize. And Mama Gnome. They're one of the sweetest couples on YouTube. If you ever get a chance to join a panel with them, do it. It's just tons of fun, and it ain't about nothing. Nothing at all. They just chat about what happened yesterday, what happened at the gas station, and it is ticklish. It tickles me to no end. I
paid $7. That's what happened at the gas station.
Right? Yeah, you only got a gallon of gas, huh?
Yeah. Welcome to California.
Fuck California, dude. Y'all can have it. I'm not interested.
Agreed. I have no fonder aspiration in life presently than to be a former Californian.
No, I just don't care anymore. I don't give a damn. I just don't care. I cannot see eye to eye with these people. You have two different types of Californians. You have the weird, hard left statists, the hardcore authoritarians who are like, just shut up and do what you're told. And then on the right side, you have these almost diametrically opposed people. They both live in California. How is that possible?
Yeah, and people who don't live here and don't know California, they have the most difficult time understanding that there are very vast swaths of this state that have more in common culturally and politically with Oklahoma than they do with Frisco or LA.
Right.
And also that California has more Trump voters in it than any state but Texas.
Okay,
people always tell me I'm lying when I tell them that.
I have a challenge for Californians, New Yorkers, and your various blue states. See, I'm in Georgia right now, and it's a purple state. We swing both ways. So, whatever you want to do, I'm cool with it. But listen, Civil War is no bueno. This is not going to do anyone any good. The best you'll have is 50 different currencies functioning at the same time, which will suck an official balkanization, or you will have the absolute oppression of half the population. And let me explain before you start swinging that big military dick around. Most of this half of the population are veterans. So go ahead with your identity politics in the military all you want to. I'm not saying not to. I'm just saying it might not be the best fighting force on earth when you do.
Did you hear what the Canadian military did today?
I hope not. No, dear God, no. No, God, no. Okay, go ahead.
Purple hair and face tattoos now allowed in the Canadian military. So there you have another instance of real life turning one of my jokes into not a joke anymore.
It's not a joke now. It's just hate crime. Congratulations.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
No, I'm not being ironic here. I firmly believe that any individual that wants to defend this nation has every right to do so. I don't care how many tattoos you got or what kind of color hair you have. I don't care. Just like I don't care why a person will go out and cop watch or audit a building or defend a person's rights or whatever it is they're out there doing. If they're passionate about it and they're doing it and they're filming it, they're uploading it to YouTube, they obviously care. Now we can just hash out all the details of what individuals care about, but it's all going to be different. There's no point in arguing over the differences. I don't care why you defend my rights. I appreciate that you do. I don't care why you make content. I appreciate that you do.
Yeah, and similarly, I don't care why you go out there and do the grunt work of defending democracies in all the different myriad ways that it needs to be defended, exactly. But thank you for doing it.
Thank you for doing it, and I will respect you just like I do other veterans when the day comes. However, do not expect that respect just because you signed up for basic. And then they gave you a participation trophy and a uniform.
Yep. Here's your purple ribbon, son.
Right? Yeah, you get a purple ribbon instead of a purple heart because you got a staple in your finger. I don't know. That seems kind of assholeish to me. No, freedom ain't free. And
because everybody is a champion just for showing up.
Oh, yeah, right. We're all participation valedictorians. We're all special in our own way. Well, I'm special by being autistic, you motherfuckers. That's why I'm special.
We were all here when the game started, and we all had our uniforms on, so let's celebrate. Nobody needs to win. Let's not even play the game.
Let's not even compete. We'll just take competition completely out of it. That is absolutely bonkers, man.
Competition's too icky anyway.
This whole thing is established on breaking the concept of meritocracy, and I'm just so fed up with it. I have one person I've been trying to get in as a guest named Mocha de Paris, Mocha de Paris Cafe. Something like that. I can't remember the name of her channel exactly. It's kind of hard. It ties up in my mouth when I try to say it. But she is a very, very outspoken Black woman, and I have yet to find anything I specifically disagree with her on. She's one of those. She's doing that thing.
Mocha de Capri or something?
Mocha Paris de Cafe.
Mocha.
I think is the name of it.
That is extremely French.
Shannon, welcome to the show, babe. Yeah, autistically special. Whenever I look at short videos, if they glow, I'll clip them and stick them on my hard drive. And it might be 6 months or a couple of days later, something will happen, and I'll be like, click, 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 click. It fits perfect.
There you go. Fits perfect.
Monkey. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
What? You did a show. I'm proud of you. You did a really good show, by the way. We've got 30 people in here right now.
Wow.
Yeah, no, we're fixing to go into After Dark. I usually pick up another 10 in After Dark, and usually 30 is what I get. You know, that's the total. That's all night.
Well, that's your baseline tonight.
Who knew? I don't know. Maybe they're touching the like button. Hey, Steve Stevens. You look familiar. I don't think that's your usual profile. Yeah, Mocha's Cafe de Paris. That's it.
I loved your work with Bruce Springsteen.
Right. I love it. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop you out of the stream for a second. I'm going to play my little outro. I'm going to talk to everybody for a second, and then we're going to go into the After Dark, which is just me taking my sunglasses off, so don't run off too quick.
All right, good deal.
Say to everybody, you got any plans, any future events or anything like that?
No. See you Monday.
We talked pretty early. I didn't expect you to have a whole lot. I mean, you don't even have a PayPal or alternate accounts. This is lovely. It's great.
Yeah, I don't have a damn thing. I'm not at the 2-year mark yet.
Right. No, I've got thresholds I've got to pass myself. I want 1,000 subs before I set up any way for anybody to give me money.
Oh, you're getting pretty close.
Pretty close, but I haven't really changed anything I'm doing as far as the show, and I still would prefer to catch people at around 100 to 200 subs for an interview because it gets us sort of a raw look into the makings of a channel. Because in a year, 2 years, you'll be able to look back through my library and say, okay, well, they made it and they didn't, and maybe you can see a reason why other people don't.
Sure. Yeah.
Learning.
It's
yes.
You know,
anyway,
there could be all kind of object lessons to be learned.
Yo, yes. Always learning. It's how we improve ourselves. I appreciate you coming in, brother. It's been a hell of a show.
I appreciate you very much for the very gracious invitation, and thanks for having me.
Oh man, I hunted you down. As soon as I saw the first video I saw was the whatever the one before the 4th of July was. And I showed up at every premiere after that. So I mean,
thank you for that.
I will be watching you until you stop making content.
Thank you very much indeed, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, I'll be sharing some of your stuff out too. Don't get too pissy about it. Some people do. I don't know. But you have a lovely afternoon. I will be right back with you in about 2 minutes.
There we go. Lunar Module 5. That's the guy. I love that guy.
I actually looked it up over here. Yeah, it's right there. I was going to check it out.
Well done.
Yep. Oh, yeah. We're going to look at it. They're doing pretty good for themselves. twice as many videos as I have. Is it like a episodic show? Or
Well, it's a lot
We'll
of what
check out
they have.
NASCAR.
They have the full mission audio for all of the NASA missions from the golden age of space
There's another
exploration.
previous guest. Untethered Lives made it to the chat. He almost never shows up. I'm proud of you, brother. You must have stayed up a little late tonight. Didn't eat? Still sitting around hungry? Anyway, I'm gonna drop you out and do my little sign out. And we'll
Yes,
bring
sir.
you back up.
Well, we should sign off this evening with a disclaimer. We are broadcasting live this evening from the traditional tribal homeland of the Kumeyaay, the Luiseno, and the Cahuilla peoples who have had their lives and their lands stolen by the evil white devil colonizer. So let's all think that until the next time we convene. Have a pleasant tomorrow. Do not comply. Get off my lawn.
And I thank each and every one of you.